David Zetto with Laramie head coach Clint Reed here as we get ready to be at home finally for the first time in a couple weeks for the Laramie Plainsmen taking on the 4th-ranked Natrona County Mustangs. Friday night, it is a 6 o'clock kickoff at Deti Stadium. Coming off a tough night on last Friday in Gillette. I know we talked about it last week during the week. We talked about it in the pregame about you don't want to be that team's first. Well, unfortunately, we were. How do you put that behind you quickly, Clint, and move on? Because you got to move on.
You know, you don't talk much about it. I mean, you don't bring it up at meetings, you don't bring it up in what ifs and what we could have done. We do have to address it because we need to use it as a teaching tool on film and on the board and on the field as far as mistakes and things we need to do. But as quickly as we move it past, it's just, talk about what we need to do and move forward and start talking a lot about Natrona.
Speaking of what you need to do, it sounds like you've broken things down and kind of tried to slow things down for the guys to make sure everybody knows their responsibility and, as you have stressed the last couple of weeks, their alignment, their assignment.
Yeah, we talked about tempo, and I think sometimes the kids mistaken tempo with just fast. They think we need to align fast, we need to snap the ball fast, we need to move fast, and they're trying to please us by being aggressive and going in that way. But tempo too is just having some discipline and structure to it. We want to be able to keep the team a little bit on their heels, guessing a little bit with that tempo. But at the same time, tempo just means, it was just like the offense yesterday. We talked about, we want you to get on the ball, we want you to align quickly because we need their defense to align so that our quarterback can scan the field and see what we need to do as pre-snap adjustments. So tempo is not necessarily snapping the ball fast because the clock is going. It's about getting us set so that we can scan the field and coaches can communicate on the field to the players. So we tried to do that. And so maybe that was our fault, maybe that was my fault in stressing what tempo really means to us. And so a lot of it we realized, we have some young kids, we have some kids that have jumped in our program and we need to slow down and we had to put our teacher hats back on. We had to get on the chalkboard, we had to start doing a lot more teaching a little bit this week. So.
Where are you at from a mental standpoint? Back-to-back losses. I know last Friday was obviously a lot more competitive, but probably kind of down. Where are you at from a mental standpoint with this team, do you feel?
I don't think you can avoid it. And if you thought you could, you're probably lying to yourself. It is. It's disappointing. As coaches, as players, as community, there's frustration there. But at the same time, we got to figure out how we're going to be mature about it, how we're going to grow from it, how we're going to learn from it. So again, that comes to leadership. That comes from the coaching staff. That comes from our seniors. So it takes a little bit of talking behind closed doors to figure out what we want to do and how we want to function as a team as we move forward.
And you got to move forward. You can't dwell on the past. You can't do anything about July. Can't do anything about Rock Springs. So your big concern now, the 4th-ranked Natrona County Mustangs, defending state champs. They were number 1 until they got beat last week and beat soundly. They didn't have their star running back Dante Wallace. He did not play in that Sheridan game, folks, if anybody's unfamiliar with that news. So I don't know if he's going to play here as we talk about this matchup, but what do the Mustangs look like on film offensively, defensively? I'm assuming they haven't changed too much.
No, they haven't. They're a program that has a lot of personnel. When you have numbers, you have competition. You have competition in practice, you have competition in the off season. They got to stress that they have to earn everything that they get because there's so much competition there. And that's what keeps them healthy and strong and and just consistent from year in and year out, let alone week to week. So even though Wallace was out, next guy was up, they struggled a little bit. Maybe they had a little bit of confidence issue. I don't know. Sheridan's a good established program themselves, so you got to give credit where it's due there. But we plan on expecting a full arsenal from them. We expect Wallace to be back. We can't prepare for anything less. So that means we got to focus on which I think is probably one of the best backs in the state.
Well, they're going to have a good ground game. Harrison Taubert, new quarterback, but boy, can he run and he can throw. They got some weapons on the outside. That defense always good for the Mustangs year in and year out. Well, good luck to you on Friday night. I appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
Laramie coach Clint Reed, the Plainsmen, hosting the Mustangs at Deti Stadium. Again, a 6 o'clock kickoff. Join Aaron Lozano, myself, in the broadcast on KOWB. That's AM 1290. And of course, you can listen online through the KOWB app, Amazon Alexa, or Google Home speakers. Our coverage starts at 5 o'clock Friday night.